Good morning. What a brilliant delivery from Tom. He set very clear goals for us. We need automation. We need scale. These are important imperatives for us. Well, here's a way we can carry on with that theme. When Terry Reagan spoke on Monday in his keynote, he listed managed services as one of our key investments. Now, whether you're delivering managed services or using managed services, there are many factors to take into account. You have to identify when it's right for you. You have to bring your stakeholders with you. You have to deliver that service, maintain it, and carry on innovating. So I'm delighted to invite to the stage an inspirational transformational leader, Mike Brand from Netsmart, Executive VP of Engineering. Mike, please take the stage. Let's also bring back John Paladino, Head of Client Services. And someone who may be new to you, Peter Cutts, please join us, our General Manager for Managed Services globally. Now, Mike, I'd like to start with you. If you could give us an idea about Netsmart and your role and your journey to managed services.
Sure. So Netsmart Technologies is in healthcare IT. Our niche is a little different than what you generally would think of with healthcare IT. We focus on mental health services, behavioral health, substance use treatment, and our clients are across the country. And a unique little fact about it, which I think ties into the managed services story, most substance use counselors actually are recovering folks with substance use issues, and most administrators in mental health organizations that you'll see are actually clinicians and counselors that basically grew up to be those administrators who are still passionate about what they do, but what you'd think is they may not be the best technologists and business people. So that's going to tie into the conversation that we're going to have.
And there's a map that shows the kind of coverage you've got. That's amazing.
It does, yeah.
So tell us, what started you on your journey to managed services?
So this is a footprint of all of our clients across the country. So we have hundreds, thousands of clients. And working with InterSystems Technologies, we have thousands of instances of Iris and Cache. But what started on the journey is, as I said, these folks, our clients that we would work with, they really wanted our help in how to maximize the use of our technology, and they really challenged us to say, who better to maximize the use of it than you? So they really challenged us to really provide that service to them so they could focus on care and treatment. And that's really what started us as an organization to provide managed services to our clients.
Thank you, Mike.
The way I remember it is you asked us to host it, and we said no, we weren't ready.
Well, that's also true. It's funny, John and I joke about that a lot. In that same vein, so I both provide and I also consume managed services from many vendors and partners, and I did challenge John many years ago, and I think this is my challenge to all of you. Who better to really tune the InterSystems system than InterSystems? So I really wanted their help.
You inspired us.
I inspired you.
Tell us about that inspiration, John.
Well, we actually started hosting customers in 2007 in Chile because it was an urgent need and there was no alternative. That's where we started learning about what managed services was all about. But I think at the time you were starting this journey, we weren't really there, but we are now, and we've brought Peter on board. We'll introduce Peter in just a second, because we're really investing in this area.
Right.
But you led the way.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think it was just a different, I looked at it through a different lens because we were on this journey many years ago. Again, our clients challenged us, and it was really just the realization that I wanted at Netsmart, I also lead our engineering team. So I lead our technology team, I lead our support team, and for years I actually led our consulting division as well. So I look at technology more around how to provide value more than anything as opposed to maybe a tinkerer. And my conversations with John were, I had people focusing on making sure we got the most out of the InterSystems technology. And John and they're great partners with that. They helped us out all the time. But this was that next turn of, I actually want you to do it for me instead of helping me, and it's a different lens.
It was kind of like what we heard yesterday with Epic. By working together, we made changes in the product that helped you, and we learned from your experience, and those lessons really helped everyone here.
Right. I mean, everybody who saw the presentation yesterday from Peter, I'm sure he's in here somewhere. I mean, I was incredibly impressed. I'm sure everybody else was. I don't know how many organizations out there can afford to hire a Peter or even find a Peter. I don't have a Peter. I'd love to have a Peter on my team. But with InterSystems, there's a lot of Peters at InterSystems organizations. And
it's a good example of we're in it together. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And speaking of Peter,
there's a Peter here.
Yeah, let's get
should
Peter
probably
in.
introduce you, Peter.
No worries.
Peter joined us just a short time ago, a matter of weeks, and we put him on the stage. So, Peter, you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Peter Cutts, and I'm the general manager of the managed services team here at InterSystems. But to give you a little background, just to kind of why this fits so well and what drew me to InterSystems, because again, 4 weeks and on stage. I mean, I'm excited about that. But to give you the background, I started in technology very young, loved computers and used them forever, and dove right into product companies. And so I spent my life really, at the first part, go to market, helping clients understand some new products as we introduced them, then really went into services because seeing that there was an opportunity in the services area to take those products and accelerate them into the environment, get value faster, and that was missing from a lot of our product companies across like Cisco, EMC, Dell Technologies, and just VirtuStream and cloud hosting, so across those companies. And so from there, I actually went into developing software, running thousands of engineers globally, running software releases, and again, the key piece was making sure that having services ready at the time and able to help clients accelerate that value and then manage that life cycle and drive it was a differentiator and something that I did for quite a bit of time and growth. From there, I dove into the managed services side by looking at the new opportunities, as you saw, cloud obviously, just rocket shipping and the transformation going on, and spent about 10 years actually helping clients do either data center modernizations, migrations to cloud, but also digital projects, because the big things are obviously large-scale transformations, but the small projects like we saw about medical devices and, as an example, helping a theme park operator quite locally here, who you might know, get better ride availability. And again, at the cross and intersection of product, think about software development, think about the services around it, the ongoing life cycle of that, and you deliver a better experience, safety within a hospital by being able to do crash cart and thinking about detection, fall detection, so you don't have to have somebody sitting in a room. All of these things are digital projects. And so back to why InterSystems, it's that intersection of product, services, technology, and of course the end result, which is the value to all of you in helping you get there faster. So
thank you, Peter. So that a business context to all of that, outcomes. So I'd like to come back to Mike. Mike, tell us, how did it change your business and how did you bring the people with you to make that happen, make it a reality?
Yeah, with my role at the time, we were really pushing the managed services. As I said, I led the consulting division for years. But my foundation, my background was really still in engineering. So I started as a software developer, building products, deploying products, and really finding a way to iterate and improve and always make those products become better for my clients in an iterative fashion. When I ran consulting, I had the same mindset. I'm not going to change who I am. And with consulting, it was how do we start with the foundation and iterate and get the solution out there, make sure it's deployed, it's successful, and then same thing, iterate and grow. Well, what happens a lot when you go live with the system, that iteration becomes a challenge. So that was that next turn of, and our clients were asking for that help, so providing that iterative value through a service organization. Now, how do you bring your clients with you as a provider? Clients were challenging me, so I would be meeting with them. You meet with a regular basis, identify their strategies, where they're going, how do they achieve their goals. But I'm also a consumer of managed services. Really, I live in both worlds. And with that, you really, if you think about the teams you have running those operations today, what are you doing as an executive or as a leader? You're really making sure that team is actioning your strategic goals and achieving your strategic goals. Well, it's no different than if you work with a trusted partner. So if they're truly a trusted partner, which we all, that's why we're here, they're going to sit at the table with you and achieve your goals. So it's really just realizing you don't have to own those resources. You actually can get better resources working with somebody else, but you have to then be able to educate and coach them on what you need. And once you're able to do that effectively, you're going to get far better outcomes. And that's really the trick, is understanding your role is to really bring them with you, but educating them just like you'd educate your own team. There's really no difference.
John, you live and breathe partnership. What are the questions that our partners are asking about our managed services?
Well, it's interesting. So we have grown to over 100 customers that we're hosting either in our data centers worldwide or public cloud worldwide. And they've come to us for reasons of security. Everybody here is terrified of a security event happening. We have to deal with that. That's going to be an increasing challenge. We're happy to take that on. Also to handle operations, staffing, as you said, partnerships with technology companies that, we all run the same stack essentially.
Yep.
But those partnerships are important. So I think customers have come to us for that, and we're finding that there's a lot of value that we're bringing by being able to provide that service. And we're making a huge investment now in this part of the business. In fact, we're running this as a line of business starting this year, because we want to invest in people and leadership like Peter, technology, automation, and really make this a tremendous service, as good as all the other services we provide and have provided for many years.
Peter, you've not been with us long, but listening to Mike and John, how would you extend that conversation point?
I think the key word that we started with was like the value creation, and I think it's just going to depend on per client. But as John said, making sure the operations, depending on what journey to cloud you may be on, having InterSystems there as a partner to help you do that while you focus on the improvement of patient care, or producing, using in the automotive industry, accelerating your AGVs so that you can actually manufacture cars, or whatever the industry may be. Let InterSystems help you with operating and managing and delivering that security, the immutability, the indelibility of data, the other pieces that go along with that, and then focus on helping you with that upgrade process and SRE and kind of that long-term run, while that focus can be on your business, your clients, your patients, whatever it may be. So that value creation is key, and there's always a different level of where clients need help, and it's just one of those things where making that aligned to the business is going to be key. So just a value create.
I think to that point, for us, it was a key to our scaling. So if you think about the technology advancements, I was talking about the ability to then innovate instead of doing the operations, but for us, it was a key to our scale. We knew in order to scale the way we to get more of those dots on the picture, the trick of that was partnering with people who could scale with us. And as we needed more, we could consume more. And then let's say we hit a plateau for a while, that's okay. And then as we continue to grow and scale, as opposed to if you're trying to do it yourself, should I hire, should I not hire? What skill do I need? You talked about, so that was key to us. You talk about security. That was a big part of our move. We did a significant shift to the public cloud years ago. That was all because of scale and making sure that our operational expenditures and operational value was more linear with our revenue as opposed to a CapEx kind of model. So all of that ties into a managed services mindset of just, if you're looking to grow and scale, how can you control what you're working with without having to actually have everybody working as an employee? Those two things don't necessarily connect, and I think a lot of people sometimes get stuck in that quandary that really doesn't exist.
Yeah, and as we partnered and learned and improved the product to make you more successful, right, now we're doing the same thing for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right?
Input, thinking about how, as we are the biggest client of, Iris and the product and all the product teams around InterSystems, all of those components we're feeding in requirements to make sure that we're aligned on how it goes. And again, that will also help other managed services providers who are building technology on top of our InterSystems portfolio. So it's a leverage model that helps everybody, and again, great to help elevate that.
Yeah, it drives efficiency for everyone.
Yes.
On-prem, our
I'm saying,
clouds.
I'm smirking because even if folks here don't consume managed services from you, you're all going to reap the benefits of it. Because even my own organization, we do RCM, we do BPO, we do application managed services. Our application has gotten better because of that. Our billing engineering has gotten better because of that. Because they become, basically your managed services is going to be your biggest customer of your IT. And they're going to challenge you. He's going to be your biggest customer, making you be better. And that's going to benefit all of us. So it ends up being a win regardless.
An example of a common problem I think we all have. We all have data sitting there that nobody's ever going to touch again, right? That's a common problem. And talking to development about how we can address that, is a great conversation.
Yeah, and I think some of the product teams will talk about it, but I've already met with the leaders and we've talked about that and how we can obviously make things more efficient over time. And again, those type of inputs will help. Because as you get into, public cloud is great, it's phenomenal, and everybody goes there, but capacity and other things can be overwhelming from a cost perspective if not managed well.
Correct.
So, and that's where, again, having the expertise of being able to operate our own technology and deliver that experience is really game changing. So it helps our clients and everybody in the room benefit over time. As a client, so.
I'm excited about it. You talk about the public cloud. Anybody who's made that move, that's a consumption model. So you pay for what you use. The more you can tune the InterSystems engine, you're actually going to be saving on the consumption model. Absolutely. So there's a direct yet an indirect or direct cost savings potential there as well. So just from a financial, so my CFO would love that side of it. On the technology side of it, I just think about all the times I'll call up and maybe I'm having a performance challenge and call up John and his team and they help us out and it's better and we solve the problem. There's probably 1,000 other of those tunings that I'm not familiar with my team just doesn't have the expertise, and just knowing that this type of service is going to be expanded upon and that investment that's going into it, I'm incredibly excited about it.
Yeah, and the teams that work around infrastructure as code and automation and looking at some things of agentic AI coding platforms and other things that help us move fast, those are things that really catapult, providing feedback, but also developing those automations underneath. So it helps everybody here, again, because those automations and those things will carry forward into the solution overall in the products.
So that keyword of automation coming in again and the use of agentic AI, we're running out of time. Some final words about going forward. Any predictions the next 2 years, let alone 5?
My predictions, I think what we've seen is really look at that managed services offering, whether it's from InterSystems or other organizations as well. Think about what you're good at, what you want to do. Just like my clients wanted to provide better treatment for their clients, so again, mental health services, they're dealing with people on Skid Row and they live in that challenging world. They trusted us and they really kind of entrusted us to do it. So you have to give up a bit of that control. And I think that's why we were at the tip of the spear, because of that world that we lived in. But as you go forward, just embrace it and understand how you can still control your destiny, but you don't have to have all those same resources. You really get much more value when working with a trusted partner. So the prediction, I just see it continuing to scale that way. And as your organization scale, it's kind of a secret sauce that either you're thinking about it and you're nodding your head yes, or you're not thinking about it, and I'd challenge you to definitely look into it, not just with InterSystems, but other organizations that you trust, that you really feel can be a great partner.
I'm going to turn next to Peter, and then we'll finish with you, John.
Yeah, so from my perspective, having just come from an extremely large system integrator, GSI, I can tell you that the world is changing and agents will do quite a bit and accelerate, whether it's code development platforms, whether it's auto resolution of problems, support issues being kind of what I would call managed, and then deployments and everything across the board. Agentic AI is going to help everything from AI ops to what I would call support and long time run and SRE of code. So from my perspective, we're at a perfect turning point to really double down on our investment in managed services, because these things are happening now and we're diving in with both.
Agreed.
Yeah, in the next 3 to 5 years, I see probably 10 times the number of customers using either our cloud services or data center managed service. But not because we're forcing people to do that. We're partners. We've always been a trusted partner. But because of the value it delivers. And for those that choose to stay on-prem or in their own private cloud, I think they're going to see the benefit of everything we do in the next 3 to 5 years.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your insight, your experience, your expertise. I think it's just the beginning of a conversation that maybe you need to have with these gentlemen, and of course between yourselves as well. So thank you very much. Please show your appreciation for our panel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.